Many out there are great speakers, some are media team members, some are great influencers in your own capacity. But often I've heard people say, how do we actually take it from a script to a screen? That's a question which many have. Joining me in today's episode is Aneesh Daniel, and let's welcome him. 35 years of experience from film and TV, and he's also a poet. Aneesh, welcome to this program.
Thank you very much. Really happy to be here.
Yes, I like, what I like about you, Anish, is of course we've been good friends and you've been a filmmaker, TV producer, you've created several shows. 35 years is a long time, but what I like in all this is your hat. I like your hat.
Thank you.
It gives you that, it gives you the look of a film man.
Yeah. And, at times it also happens to be an authority,
Yeah.
but that's not the reason what it happened. We were doing a project for Mr. Franklin Graham.
Yes.
And this was, I think, little before or around that time of phone days.
Right.
And I realized that if somebody needs to get in touch with me, because I think, the phone were also not very, because we were backstage and it was too noisy. So
Early 90s?
yeah. So I was like, how will somebody, spot me if they need any help? So I was genuinely concerned if somebody, because handling the media and you want somebody to reach out to you. And I thought, let me wear a hat. And I told everyone, if you want to spot me, see where I am in the hat and you will definitely easily spot me, And that's how it helped, in many times,
Yeah,
that way.
and that's good. We're talking about influence.
Yes.
And the hat was an influencer there.
Yes.
So this program title is called Influence. Anish, just a simple, straightforward question. When you think of influence, what comes to your mind?
With very small little thing where you find yourself weak. And when you see somebody who is already an influencer speaks about it, grab that thought. Because we come to a point when we realize, oh yeah, I have this weakness and I need to overcome out of it, but I don't know how to overcome out of it. And in this digital age, you happen to hear from someone speaking something, and then I said, yeah, I need to try this out. Like, say, for an example, I was hearing Amir Khan's one interview in the Shorts, and he said, I have improvised in my life since when I left the phone. And I realized, yes, because we got so used to it, YouTube, what is happening in the world. And I said, no, I need to at least start with digital fasting. So that is an influence, that it's just not Amir Khan, but anybody would have said anything.
Correct.
I would have taken that because there is a weakness in me which has developed and I need to overcome that weakness. And that is very important for a person to realize where you are weak. And when you are weak, you need to see how you can correct it.
Correct.
And that is when the influencer comes.
Yeah.
And then you can say, okay, I want to grab that opportunity.
Yeah, that's a good point. And especially when an influencer talks, it makes even more effect because he's an influencer. And then you are picking it up and then you're taking it and then applying it. So I think that's a key point here. Anish, I really enjoyed this movie, Least of This, a very powerful movie. And, I was in tears and you brought that story element so beautiful. And when you said you are coming, see, right now you have a paper and a paper, I'm having a phone. And then I'm wondering, Anish is a script man. He's a man who writes the script and develops the screen. So, Anish, and this topic is script to a screen. How important is the script for the influencers who are watching? We are very spontaneous, and sometimes we speak. But how important is a script from your own experience?
So Alfred Hitchcock once said that there is 3 formulas for a successful of storytelling.
Oh, 3 formulas.
Yeah. That is script, script and script.
All 3.
Yeah, all 3 are script. And it is so essential to be ready with the script. Now, script doesn't mean it needs to be a television or a film script. It can be a script for a pastor when he's going for a preaching.
Yeah.
And when you are prepared, your half of your battle is, won. Now, I will mention this, that there is a proper grammar in script writing when it comes to film script writing and also in many other visual media. If you don't have that proper grammar into that script writing, then it will be very weak. Now, let's say for an example, in filmmaking, there is Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, climax, and then you have a resolution. Then within the Act 1 or between the acts, there is sequences. So there are four or four sequences, makes an Act 1. And then between the sequences, there are scenes. So there is a sequence, then there are 3 scenes in a sequence. And then in a scene, there are beats. Now, this is from this book of Robert Mackey, which itself is called Story, a very powerful book, which I'm quite influenced, and I have gifted that book to quite a few aspirant filmmakers. And I say, make your script, if you need to work hard, make your script strong, because that is the key. If your script is weak, everything will be weak. And with our film, my dear friend Andrew Matthews, who is a script writer in Australia, we worked hard on the script, and that is where the film grabs you, because again, this book from Robert Mackey says that audience's IQ level shoots very high when they are inside the dark room, which is a theater. So you cannot fool the audience, because they will again go mind versus logic, not logic. So it is so essential to make yourself so perfect with that script. Either it is a script of a television or even for preaching, or once you develop that, then you have a good audience.
I like what you said. When you develop a good script, 50% of the battle is won.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that's a huge takeaway which I'm getting in this episode. But we have a few minutes more, but I want to show the audience the trailer. I know many of them have seen this movie, the beast of this, which you directed, but I want to cut to the trailer. And after the trailer, I have just a few minutes to ask you one question, and then we'll go into a series of another episodes probably on the title Script to the Screen. Let's watch this trailer.
This is your opportunity.
Leper! Whoa. He's a leper!
Calm down, mate. He's been healed 30 years.
Where's your affidavit for conversion?
Her mother is a Christian.
Well, her father is a Hindu.
Who's going to look after the home? Who's going to defend them?
You take this. You go all the way.
What if I become a Christian?
That would be a forced conversion.
We must pray.
We don't need you anymore. Why do you say?
It's my calling.
We have to be strong, Banerjee. Teach Christians a lesson.
There's no evidence.
Find some.
You can still write the truth.
What is the truth?
Anish, that was a very powerful trailer. And I like the last line. Truth always
Seems to cost something.
seems to cost something. And that's a very powerful line which you added in the script. What are the thoughts behind that whole line? How did that whole thing come around?
Because the whole film is based on the truth.
Right.
And I come to, at the end, with the conclusion about that truth, which I'm not revealing it, and I like for the audience to watch it. But yes, truth always seems to cost something. I don't know what, but the level of truth you are dealing with, you will also come to a level where you need to write lies as a script writer, or you need to write something which is not that truthful. So you need to work hard to see and stick as much as you can, develop your story around that truth, what you have the object for it, that way. So it will cost you. It will cost you. Sometimes it may come to a level after finishing the film, they say, oh no, it's too hard hitting, but it will cost you. But that truth will stay for whatever you're doing for generations, because the lie will be forgotten, but the truth will be there for for generations, that way.
That's a very powerful line, Anish, and also even the movie itself was very powerful. It's a real life story,
yes,
and just we have a few more minutes, and then I want to take it to the next episode. But if there's one takeaway for people who are influencers who say, I want to understand the script, I want to really get into a discipline of understanding how do I develop a good script. What's that one takeaway which you can share to people?
It is to know your audience. The moment you know your audience, you can develop a script accordingly.
Okay.
There are times when you have one script to talk about where you are such a burning desire and I want to do it, but then what happens, we spend too much of energy towards it, but not realizing what an audience needs. So it's in a very simple way, I'm talking in a metaphor of food, that if you are serving an Andhra food to an Westerner who comes to your house, he will never like it.
Correct.
Because that's not of his choice.
Correct.
So you need to serve what the audience requires. And the another most important thing is with the time. See, now because of this digital age, in every 10 years, the generation, of course, is changing. And not only that, their mindset is changing. So you need to, evolve with the time as a storyteller, but also stay, with that truth line. Keep that truth as an element, but you will have a different way of telling the storyline. So, coming back to your question, and the answer is understand your audience. Once you know this is my audience, then you can work out your script. So start from the audience.
So don't develop a script without knowing your audience.
Very true. So don't develop a script without knowing the audience.
Audience, yes.
Very rightly said.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good, Anish. But there's some more coming up, and we're going to pick up a lot of questions from you, and we're going to draw a lot of inspiration from what your life has meant, where you're impacted through your movies, through your stories, and through your scripts, and some exciting discussions going to come up. But more importantly, thank you for being with us. In the next episode, we will dive to the part 2 of Script to the Screen. Friends, you're watching this episode called Let's Talk Influence. Click that subscriber button, and we are talking with Aneesh Daniel, movie maker, a television producer, more than that, a poet, 35 years of large experience. Don't miss the next episode of Script to the Screen. See you soon.